I'm Robert, and in this video, we're going to dive into troubleshooting your Logitech G racing wheel. So our first step is to troubleshoot whether or not your wheel is receiving the appropriate amount of power and if it's completely plugged in. So one of your big red flags that's going to happen is there's going to be some LED notifications. They're going to notify you whether or not the wheel is receiving that power. The G29 and G923 PlayStation version will have a flashing LED on top of the wheel. The G920 will have flashing white LED above the Xbox button, and the G923 Xbox version will have all RPM LEDs completely lit up. Another notification is that if your wheel doesn't automatically calibrate, which is when it spins once plugged in, that is another red flag. So if none of those happened, then you're going to want to double check your power connection. So first thing we're going to want to do is flip over your wheel, double check that your power connection is not too taut, that it has a good amount of flex like so, that you're able to identify that it is indeed plugged in but not too tight and putting stress on the plug. Make sure you check the connection at the power brick and that the cable is pressed in firmly. If your wheel is plugged into the wall, make sure that it's plugged in completely. If it is plugged into a surge protector, please make sure that your surge protector is indeed powered on and not set to the off position. So once you have identified that your wheel is properly powered, you're going to want to make sure that your computer is actually receiving a signal from your wheel. Now, the way you could do this is by opening up G-Hub like so, going over to your wheel that you have plugged in, and if it is displayed, go ahead and click on your wheel, then go to your steering wheel option, and then move your wheel and make sure that it is represented on G-Hub. If you can notate that it's being represented in G-Hub, you're going to want to go to the next step, which is clicking on your pedals. Once you're in pedal sensitivity, you can go ahead and press on your pedal, notating that it is being reflected in G-Hub, like so. Once you have verified that your wheel and pedals are operating within G-Hub, you're going to need to validate that they are also visible within the control panel in the game controller section by searching joy.cpl. Much like G-Hub, in the game controller section, not only can you check if the wheel and pedals are working, but also the buttons. By selecting properties, you can quickly identify which button is being pressed, such as Y identified as 4 or B identified as 2. This is especially useful for when verifying that your driving force shifter is plugged in and working appropriately by changing between your gears and identifying that they are indeed operational. In the event that this test page is blank, please move on to step 4. Now we will move on to step 3. Step 3 will involve Steam support, so for those of you who are using a different application, please also move on to step 4. So for step 3, we're going to be disabling Steam controller support. So you're going to want to go ahead and open Steam. From within Steam, you want to locate View in the top left-hand corner, click View, then go to Settings. From within Settings, you're going to want to go to Controller, and then General Controller Settings. From within General Controller Settings, you want to make sure that all of these boxes are unchecked, and then verify that the detected controller is indeed your wheel. Step 4 is for if you have a blank test page in the game controller's properties on your Windows machine, or if you have any calibration issues. This will involve us working within the registry and is considered advanced, so please double check your work before making anything final. Begin by opening Registry Editor. Accept that the app is going to make changes to your device. From there, follow the path that begins at Computer, H key current user, System, Current control set, Control, Media properties, Private properties, Joystick, and then OEM. From this point, it is very important that you identify the wheel that is specific to you. From here, you will be deleting that particular wheel from registry, which will allow registry to reinstall the wheel and potentially solve the error. Your specific wheel will be determined by the last 4 digits located at the end of each VID. In my particular case, I am using the G923 Xbox version, which is C26E, located here. If you are using the G923 PlayStation version, you will be using C266. If you are using the G29, you will need to locate C24F, and if you are using the G920, you will need to locate C262. Once you have located your specific wheel, right-click on your wheel, press delete, accept it as being permanently deleted. Now unplug your wheel, and then replug your wheel. Now what we're looking for is to identify that the wheel will show up back within registry by pressing view and refresh. Verify that your wheel has returned to registry and then close registry. And that covers the 4 steps to troubleshooting your Logitech G racing wheel. For more information and support, please go to logitechg.com, and thanks for watching.